What is going on, guys? Jason Burke here, Styles Clash for Life, coming at you on YouTube, and today I've got another edition of The Drive-In, where I watch recently released films and tell you guys whether they're worth watching, worth waiting for, or worth skipping altogether. Today I'm talking about one that I was pretty excited for. It dropped, I think, 2 weeks ago on Shudder. It's a Shudder original movie. You guys know I like my Shudder movies. And I saw the director, and I saw the trailer, and I said, I want to watch this immediately because I like the director, but I'm going to hold off and wait until my 31 days of Halloween. If you guys know me, you know that I pick like 26 or 27 new films plus 4 or 5 that I watch every year, and I make a 31-day October movie list to make a 31 days of Halloween, and I wind up usually watching between 40 and 60 anyway, but I make a base of 31 movies with a bunch of movies I've never seen before. And I said, you know what, this is one of the newer ones that I'm going to save till Halloween. Let's see if it pays off. I'm talking about 2025's Night of the Reaper. This is a Brandon Christensen movie, and I've been a fan of his for a while. I liked Stillborn on Shudder. I liked Z a lot. I loved Superhost, which was a top 2, I think, favorite of mine a couple years ago. Wasn't a big fan of Puppet Man that came out, I think, 2 years ago, his last one. Not big on that, but with Stillborn, Z, and Superhost, I had 3 films that I liked a lot. So I found this indie director, and I figured I'm going to follow a lot of his stuff. You guys want to see my review of Superhost on my channel, it's on there, and it also made the best of the year in that year a couple years ago. But this was written and directed by Ryan and Brandon Christensen. I'm going to assume they're brothers, and directed by Christensen. And this one has a lot of really good vibes. Let's talk about the positives and negatives and see if you guys should watch Night of the Reaper. First things first, the runtime is solid. It's an hour and 33, so you get about 90 minutes plus credits. Very, very sleek runtime. Fits in its runtime nicely. It's paced pretty well. It's a nice, easy watch. It's a good background watch and a good attentive watch. I think you guys should check it out. Runtime-wise is solid. But this film, and I'm not going to spoil it. It's been out for 2 weeks, but it's still pretty new. It's Halloween season. I encourage you guys to go watch it because it does have that October fall aesthetic. It feels like a Halloween movie. It's not built around the Halloween season, so to speak, but it does feel like a small town fall feel to it. So I encourage you guys to go watch it. This film stars Jessica Clement as Dina, Ryan Robbins as Sheriff Arnold, and Max Christensen debuting as Max Arnold. And I think Max Christensen, I'm pretty sure, is Ryan's son, I would believe. I didn't do research on that, but I think it's Ryan's son. So, I'm sorry, Brandon's son, the director Brandon's son. So you've got Ryan and Brandon writing. Max Christensen is one of the stars in this. And spoiler-free review, basically the prose is that Dina comes home after a long time away at college, comes back to a splintered family that's been going through a lot of personal problems. The father is sick, mother is kind of just going through the motions, and Dina goes back to her hometown, revisits her friends for the first time in a while, winds up babysitting Max, the sheriff's son, and comes to realize there is a killer in this small town. Someone's going around killing babysitters, slashing people up, and both the sheriff and the babysitter are trying to survive and figure out who's behind this and why. So right away, you've got a very Scream-style whodunit, and this thing is built like that, which leads into my first positive, the introduction. You get the intro, the opening credits, the production team logos, all the identification, and it comes off like a VHS. You've got that like tape going in, you've got the staticky kind of focus thing. It starts out like a VHS, and it uses that VHS filter throughout and feels like a bit of a grainy movie, but not where it's forced. It doesn't feel like an over-forced it's not putting it throughout the whole movie. It's not being hard to watch. It's not trying to force it down your throat, but it does feel like you're watching an old school VHS film because this film is set in the 80s. I'll get into that, but the intro in general, not just the opening where it feels like a VHS tape, but also the opening kind of kill sequence, right? You know, in a whodunit, there's got to be a murder to kick events off. And we get an opening kill sequence here that feels so much like Scream. I mean, it is very much like Babysitter Murders, Halloween meets Scream. You get a babysitter watching 2 young kids. The dialogue is funny. The chemistry is funny. The timing is good. Everything is set up for the 80s. The characters are fun. And then you get a good kill to open up the title sequence and getting into the movie. And it's so nostalgic. And it's probably the most well-done Scream-style intro since the Scream movies. Aside from the Screams who always get it right with their intros, this is a very Scream intro. So if you like that Scream-style ambient, fun characters, surprise murder kicking into the story. You're going to like this a lot. The intro was well done. Again, time period. I mentioned this was an 80s film, and it does that balance nicely where it's not trying to punch you in the face and go, hey, we're doing the 80s. Hey, we're doing the 80s. So many films do that now, and it's so overdone and it's so overused and over-referenced that it becomes really schlocky by the end and you're kind of just over it. I love this time period. It's the best, in my opinion, for horror movies, but it's overused and it's over-referenced. But in this movie, it is used just right. It is used to seclude the characters and take away some of their escape points and some of their resources and materials, but it does it in such a way that feels authentic and they're not referencing all these different 80s things. You get a few little music videos or things on TV that reference the time period, and they're pretty cool. The set deck is pretty accurate. Everything feels pretty lived in and pretty 80s, but they're not punching you in the face or hitting you over the head with it. So I like the use of the time period. It's accurate without being self-referential too much. Location in general, this movie takes place largely in two places, the sheriff and the sheriff station, kind of moving around this small town, which looks really good and picturesque and feels very cozy and very fall, and still unsettling in a way, but also the main character of Dina, who I didn't connect with at first, but she grew on me. I think Jessica Clement did a nice job here. Wasn't a big fan at first, but as the movie went, I became more a fan. But I think Dina being in this, the sheriff's house, babysitting the child, is a really nice, again, one location. It's big and vast to give you different rooms and different jump scares and creepy noises and things. And it's an old house, so it rustles. And there's a lot of just house settling noises and things to get you in the spirit of the trapped kind of babysitter movie. Kind of like When a Stranger Calls. But it is a small enough location to give you a feeling of she has nowhere to go when things happen. So I like that a lot as well. Character trauma. I like a lot of the main characters here have really kind of tortured things in the town, with obviously a previous kill going around. You've got the potential for a killer. Every character's got losses, right? We talk about early in the film, and it's not really a spoiler, but early in the film you find out that the sheriff lost his wife and the sheriff's son lost his mom in a car accident. And so you have the little boy being really hopeful and positive, but also having that vulnerability of when he talks about his mom and how intelligent and emotionally mature and inspirational this kid is. Then you have the sheriff, who obviously is battling a loss, but he's still trying to do right by the town. And he's being sent all these clues and foreboding warnings. And so you feel for him in some way, but you also wonder how complicit he is. And then you get to Dina when you realize what her family's been through. And there's a bunch of twists that I won't spoil, but her family's been through a lot. And she's kind of trying to hold up the family while also being the one that ran away in some ways. Her best friend, who's involved in the movie, obviously has some things she's trying to escape and some mirrors and masks and deflections that she's trying to put up to hide part of her insecurity. So you have all these characters that, while on the surface can be a little one-dimensional, all have these family traumas that play into the story and all give them senses of vulnerability and sarcasm and toughness that I really appreciate. These characters could easily have just been any teen USA for the slasher to go around and kill. And while we didn't get a ton of kills in this movie, we did get some good backstory and some good character trauma that helps you get on their side when things happen. I like that. Negatives. First things first, there weren't a lot of bodies to kill. There wasn't a lot of gore. There wasn't a lot of the tropes of this time period, which kind of can be a positive too, because too many films now, especially indie films, mid to low budget films, rely on just boobs and blood. And that's all they have to offer. And this one does more than that. Like I said, the characters matter. The characters have backstories. They all have something to do. But because of that, we didn't get a lot of extra bodies. We didn't get a lot of kills. We didn't get a lot of blood when we did get kills. We didn't hold on a lot of shots. We didn't get a lot of those classic 80s tropes, which takes away the 80s vibe to an extent. But I also do still in the same breath, kind of hypocritically, still appreciate the fact that they didn't rely on those too much. Killer reveal. When we get to the final act, there's a lot of little twists in this movie. Some you can guess and some you can't, for better and for worse. When we get to the third act of this film, it's clever and it's a fun follow along and it will keep you guessing on certain aspects. But I think some of the reveals and how we got to some of the things were kind of either very jump the shark like or very what the hell is going on like. When we reveal the killer or killers in this film, you go, who exactly is that again? Why exactly did they do that again? Why did they connect this to that? Why did they choose this person to kill? Those things happen a couple times for me. And I was paying attention and I was just like, this doesn't feel like an earned reveal necessarily. And then you get to another twist and you go, okay, that can add to it, but they really don't explain that one either. So while I like the fact that the characters are clever and they're trying to one-up each other and they have a lot of extra layers that you don't see right away, again, building on the character trauma and the character resourcefulness, which are big positives for me, I do think that you get to a place where you go, okay, how did they get this done? And why did they choose this person? And why exactly are they doing what they're doing? They do tie some of those answers up, but some they leave unanswered. And for me, that's a negative. Plausibility is the last big negative for me. Once they do reveal some of the things, you go, okay, they're tying together parts of this story. And I do like how some of the characters can do some of the things they're doing to try to outmatch each other and battle each other. And they're writing these final girl characters, so to speak, or final boss characters or whatever, very smart and one step ahead of the other, and you play a nice cat and mouse game. But again, some of those reveals, while they do answer some questions, they do make you go, I don't think they could have gotten away with that. Or, oh, when this supposedly happened, they didn't give us enough rope for us to get to that conclusion. They didn't explain that enough, or they didn't make that feel rational enough or possible enough. So there are some plausibility issues. So they're definitely a mixed bag here. I like this one probably more than Stillborn, maybe more than Z, but definitely less than Superhost. This falls somewhere in the middle to upper middle of Brandon Christensen's kind of filmography. But overall, I enjoyed it. I'm going to give this film personally a 6.5 out of 10. I do think it might land somewhere in the 8, 9, 10, or 11, 12, 13. So just in the top 10 for the year or just outside the top 10 for the year, honorable mention style. It's going to be in that 8 to 13 range, I think, by the end of the year. Worthy of being mentioned, possibly even worthy of low-end top 10, but not going to be as special as it started. Started very, very strongly. And then by the end, while there was some really good things happening, there also were some questions and some reasons to roll your eyes. So a mixed bag here, but still, I think a very positive movie. A lot of good vibes, a lot of fun to watch, easy to watch. Definitely better than average for me. So 6.5 out of 10 for me. What do you guys think? If you like whodunits and Scream movies and 80s style movies, these capture those vibes very well while still giving something original to the characters and giving you enough reason to watch. Whether or not you like things when they reveal and kind of how they get done, that's going to be a mixed bag. But I would recommend watching this. It's on Shudder right now. Go check it out. Shudder original movie. You can get Shudder for very cheap. And enjoy this movie, and they've got a lot of good horror stuff on there right now. So what do you guys think? Tell me in the comments down below. Let's talk about the movie if you've seen it. If you have not, like I said, go check it out. Please like, share, and subscribe these deep dives. I never know how the film review stuff's going to go, especially for newer films. Now that it's October and I'm watching at least 31, if not 60 movies this month, I'm going to watch a lot of newer stuff for me, some brand new to everyone, and some as far back as 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. So if you guys want some reviews for some films that I have not seen that are older, would you be interested in that? I did this a couple years ago, and some got a ton of views and some got none. So let me know what you guys think. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Happy Halloween and stay scared.